Seg03's continuing special series, Making Their Case. And here with me today are G.D. Milstein, the state child advocate, and Kevin Lembo, the state's health care advocate. Both of you are in jeopardy under the REL's proposed budget acts, I should say. G.D., your office essentially is being dwindled down to one, you. Kevin, we'll start with you, though. Your office,
completely
gone. Just gone. How shocked were you when you first heard this?
I was very surprised because, you know, the normal criteria for eliminating an agency is about efficiency and accountability and mission and all of those things. And it's very clear that that's not what it was about.
And you're saying you do not take any, your agency doesn't use taxpayer dollars. Insurance agencies.
Insurance companies, the domestic insurance companies pay into a fund that funds the insurance department and my office as well. So no taxpayer money.
So if something is bothering, if it's like let's say I have an insurance claim that I'm not happy with, I go to you and you can fight it for me?
Absolutely right.
And you've been successful doing this?
Yeah, about 80 to 85% of the time. And we turned $5.2 million back to consumers last year alone.
So, J.D., we'll get to you in a second, but I'm confused. And why would REL cut your office? There's got to be savings in there somewhere.
There really aren't. Any money the governor saves by cutting our agency goes back into the into the insurance fund and serves as a credit back to the insurance industry. So not only will the citizens of Connecticut not have the benefit of someone fighting for them, but the companies will get all that money and keep it right there in their pocket.
Well, again, insurance benefits is something near and dear to everyone, but also, Jeannie, you're fighting the fight for those who do not have a voice, children. And I met you long ago covering horrific stories having to do with children being brutally murdered and, you know, some problems that happen on the state level with Department of Children and Families. And you're the watchdog for this group. Your office, essentially, you would still have a job, but you would lose your power. Is that correct?
The entire staff would be eliminated with the exception of my position, which would move to the Attorney General's office, and all the independent investigatory oversight and accountability responsibilities and powers would be eliminated. So we would no longer have the ability to investigate and issue public reports when a child dies, which is exactly why we were created back in 1995. We would no longer have the ability to go into facilities 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and assess whether children were being harmed. And I can give you a couple of examples of that. That would all be gone.
It sounds like your title would be one on paper only then.
I would be doing a little bit of advocacy and public education. The investigatory oversight and accountability responsibilities would be gone. The ability to investigate and issue public reports would be gone. The ability to review the circumstances of children with special health care needs would all be eliminated.
Yeah, I was the one who broke the news to you the day when Governor REL unveiled her budget that your office was in danger. You had said then, you said essentially that you felt as if it could be retaliation for shining a light on DCF. Do you still believe that?
I don't say it was ever retaliation, but sometimes our work sheds a light on inadequacies and ineffective delivery of state services and services that are funded by the state. Our reports have uncovered, and we've made public, costly and inadequate treatment in treatment facilities, children getting beaten up in facilities, children who have received inadequate medical care and whose safety has been at risk. It takes great courage for a state to make a commitment to transparency, and that would be gone here.
So, and this is something that both of your offices do. So what's the word? Do you feel as if your position could be saved? Has there been a public outcry because of this, Kevin?
Well, I think there's been an amazing outpouring of support for both of our offices. And it's because of the work we do, and I think people understand the importance of both holding government accountable through investigation and oversight, and holding big business accountable as well. I mean, when you're up against a huge bureaucracy like a government or against a multi-billion-dollar company like an insurance company, you don't have any power there. You need someone who's advocating and protecting you by your side. To get rid of that takes away that whole layer of accountability. And I don't know, a government or a huge business unfettered, I'd rather not be in a state that allows that to happen.
And Jeannie, I'll let you make your final point.
Well, in the case of our office, we are the voice literally for children who sometimes don't have any voice at all. And what's different about children than adults is that children, what goes on in the children's world is protected by confidentiality. So when we issue a report, it's not only to protect and help children, but it allows the public to understand what's going on behind these confidentiality statutes without our kind of scrutiny. We would go back to the days where children would die in state care and no one would know. There would be an iron curtain put around the delivery of state services and state-funded services to children. Once again, children would die and people would have no idea why. Children could languish in facilities and the public would have no idea. Children could be in institutions getting beaten up and no one would know.
Well, if that doesn't make your case, I don't know how better, well, spoken or put it could be, Jeannie. Any other final thoughts from you? We have a lot of lawmakers who watch the show.
Well,
they're drafting the bill. I mean,
they are. Their budget is going to come out hopefully next week, the legislative budget, and then we'll see what it says and work to restore it.
How much money would the state save under Rel's plan, Jeannie? Because we are running out of time.
They would save about $777,000. However, what the public would lose is our oversight of over $4 billion of state money. And again, we have issued public reports that show how sometimes some of this $4 billion is spent in ineffective ways and ways that have actually harmed children.
Last question, because again, we're out of time. I don't mean to keep saying that, but are you hopeful? Yes, no, what?
Very much so.
You are hopeful that?
I am.
Oh, very hopeful, very hopeful.
I think we both
that your agencies will remain as is.